Welcome to the show, fellow shop rats. Today we have a whole pile of boxes with pieces and parts and things that we need for many of the projects here around the shop. So the first thing I'd ask you to do is, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel, take 1 second and do that right now. We greatly would appreciate it. Hit the bell so you receive those notifications. We put out episodes every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday at 7 o'clock in the morning, like clockwork.
This is My Cars Shop.
One of the things that we deal with has been supply chain issues, as you've heard me talk about ad nauseum here on the channel. And the first box we're going to open, which is technically already opened, is a part we've been waiting for about 4 or 5 months now. It just showed up the other day finally. So let's pull that one out for you to take a peek at. It's big, sort of. We finally have received the driver's side floor pan for this Forsyth Duster. So we have now both floor pans. I've already built the under seat area on the driver's side. The passenger side is good. We got a few patches. We have the torsion bar cross member, which we got quite a while ago. So we have all the parts that we need now to be able to start working on replacing the inner rocker panel on that car, and then going ahead and getting these floor pans put in the car. So that's really cool. We will be on that car as soon as this truck is done and out of here. Now let's head this direction here. See what we got. This comes from Pennsylvania, I'm quite sure. Yes, from Bangor. Bangor. I don't know how you say it. It comes from Pennsylvania is what I'm trying to say. And if you know, when we've mentioned this particular source on the channel before, it's well, it's for one of the cars here in the shop that many of you know and love. Something I don't generally work on by myself, and I haven't seen this. It's actually been here for a little bit, but I haven't taken time to open it. So let's get into here and see what we got. I already know what it's supposed to be. Well, we got stuff here. Oh, there it is. I don't know where my trash can went. I could read the newspaper, I guess, again, but I won't do that. Okay, that's an empty Ziploc bag. We can use that for something else. We got these.
Oh, looky. Sounds like a Top Fuel dragster.
All right, now we're down into it.
Oh, we got a piece of foam.
Well, there we go. That's the, yeah, that's definitely that's it. Yep. I don't remember if this is the passenger side or the driver's side, but this really isn't the part that I needed. Oh, by the way, this is for the Oakland. We had one window that the window track, not the track, but the channel was busted up. So Wayne Koffel from Koffel's Oakland and Bangor, Pennsylvania, had one. It's got a few little rust holes in it, but it ain't bad considering it's, 1926. I think this was actually out of a 25. And then, of course, this goes in here like this. And I don't remember, I got to look in the car. I don't remember if this is the regulator from the passenger or the driver's side. But like I said, it really doesn't matter, because what I really needed was this right here. When Wayne had sent this pictures to me via text, he said, which one do you need? I really didn't care, but I was pretty sure without looking that this was the driver's side regulator. That's what it is. I don't need the regulator. I just need this part right here, because the interior in that car is, if you haven't seen that car, go check it out. There's a whole playlist on it. But the interior on that car is completely unmolested. It's all original, and I'm really, really reluctant to try removing that upholstery, getting those nails out of that wood and pulling that cloth off. I really feel like we're going to destroy it. So my goal was hopefully to figure out a way to attach this into that and then be able to put this on the glass. This will be easy. This, not so much, but hopefully I'm creative enough and we're not going to have to go ahead and pull everything off of the car on that driver's door and put this in. If we have to, we will. Dad might be here this weekend. I don't know if this will be the first thing that we tackle. He hasn't been here for quite a while. It's just life keeps happening for both of us. But so anyway, watch for that. We'll be installing the glass. We have all the glass cut. Remember, for those that haven't watched that glass in 1926 was not safety glass. And so legally we have to replace all that glass. But quite frankly, it wouldn't be smart to put that car on the road and not have safety glass in it, because a big shard of that glass would kill you, because that's what would happen back in the day. The next one is a gift from a channel viewer, sort of. My son sent me some cash for Christmas and said, buy something you need for the shop. And I toyed around with a lot of things, and several things that I was looking at just weren't available. Like I was looking at buying either a used dash pad or one of those ABS dash pad covers that goes on the dash for the Challenger, and I've got some ideas for a project with that if we can't find a decent dash pad for it. But everything I looked at was either too expensive or mostly not available. I'm really leaning towards the dash pad cover itself, and then, well, I don't want to give away too much there. So anyway, I was looking at some possible things that I was needing, and I happened to be working on floor pans on the Challenger at the time and realized that something like this might be pretty beneficial. This is from Eastwood. We have a nice big sticker. Speaking of stickers, if you haven't gotten your stickers or your merchandise, check this out. There's a link down in the description for our merchandise. You can get toolbox stickers, MKS toolbox stickers, MKS shirts, Stitches shirts, stuff like that. If you have problems finding it, send me an email. My email address is down there in the description. And I didn't open what was in that box. My email address is down there as well, and you can just email me directly and I can help you get hooked up with that stuff. Okay, if you look for Schultz Sign Company on Etsy and then search MKS, when you find them, you can find our merch. But here's what we've got. There are a couple little pieces, parts for the bead roller. They're stretching dies. So remember, we've struggled with pre-stretching metal for the doing bead rolls, and I always just straighten it out afterwards. But I've really wanted to get this down. I don't have an English wheel. I'm looking at building one at some point. I've got a pretty cool idea from a guy over at Fitzy Fabrications on the Facebook page, where he has a English wheel, shrinker, stretcher, excuse me, and his bead roller all in one unit, and I think it's really cool. Money right now, I probably have enough metal around to build the framework for that, but I don't have everything I need, so we'll put that off for a little while. I've even looked at like buying a English wheel from Harbor Freight. They have one for just under $400, but that's just not in the budget right now. So because I had the gift money, I went ahead and purchased these stretching dies. This one goes on the top, this one goes on the bottom, and you can pre-stretch your metal for doing things like that bead rolling. I'm still working on perfecting this. I've used bead rollers for years, but I've not really taken time to develop it as the artwork, the skills as the artwork that it can be. So you're kind of joining me in that journey as I do. We're going to put these back in the plastic here, just so they don't rust. Put them back in the box for now, and we will stick those under the bead roller. So thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. Appreciate the opportunity to upgrade the shop a little bit, and it comes with a handy dandy little brochure about other stuff available. So the next one doesn't really need to be opened, but I wanted to talk about, because the next two products are for this vehicle right here. This is the primer that we're using, and this is the hardener that goes with it. This is a high build urethane by U-POL. It can be used as a sealer as well, but for the most part, it's just a high build primer that we're going to be applying to this truck before we go ahead and paint it. Normally, when I paint a vehicle, I wouldn't prime the whole thing, but because this had so much primer all over it already, I wanted to go ahead and put some good primer on and seal it all up, so when I put the top coat on, it's not going to potentially lift or cause other problems. So we got a gallon of this. This was just about, I think, just under $100 for both of these together. Considering the price of paint products these days, I didn't think it was too bad. I haven't used this product. The one I normally use is a 2K by Nason, and you just don't have it right now. Again, supply chain issues are causing all kinds of problems, but my local parts place, my local paint jobber, they've been selling this to local body shops. The body shops have been liking it. I know some of the guys that work in those body shops. They said it's a good product, and it's extremely high build. You can't believe how much solids are in this. This thing is heavy. I wish I'd weighed it before I brought it out here. It is friggin' heavy. So again, it is a U-POL UP2253 for those that want the number. And this is a standard hardener. I couldn't get the faster one, but this stuff, the flash time on this is like 10 minutes. So UP2323. If you've seen the series, there's maybe 8 episodes at this point on this series right now. I'll be filming more on that again this weekend. We are trying to paint this vehicle, this truck, for under $500. So this is something you guys are going to be interested in. If I can get it open. Thanks, Colleen, for the wonderful box opener again. I use it all the time. It's little things like that, those little gifts that really make a difference. And, well, I make her nervous because we flashing around a razor blade all the time. And so she got this for quite a while ago, but, oops, I just cut the receipt in half.
Well, golly gee, Wally. There we go.
This is probably my recipe.
Or my recipe.
Okay, oh, we even got a catalog. I'll talk about that supplier in a minute. Bunch more type stuff.
Oh, look, a box opener.
I'm not going to take all of this out, but I'm going to take one of this out and show it to you. They obviously, to ship it, they had to, wrap it up in something in case it sprung a leak. It's quite well packaged and sealed. Okay, let me close this back up. There's 2 of these in here, so let's get you a little bit closer so you can see what I'm dealing with. As I was searching for a product to use on this without having to go out and spend huge money on traditional automotive paint, one of the things I started doing was going down the rabbit hole of tractor implement paints, things like that. And our local Tractor Supply, TSC as it's known here, has a brand of product by a company called Magic. And I was really interested in using that product. But I've been painting a long time, and I know better than to just buy something and throw it on there. So I started making phone calls, and lo and behold, I ended up getting bounced around like a ping pong ball for about half a day. But I finally got directly a hold of the rep, the expert. I call him, he's my guy now with this company. And we talked for quite a while on the phone about that product. And the thing I didn't like about the product that they had was its flash time was anywhere from 1 to 2 hours. I don't think that's a very good product to use in this environment because I'm going to have about 2.6 pounds of dirt, dust, flies, and probably some coon crap in that paint before it flashes off. So as we talked a little bit, and he realized that I was not just, I wasn't just a farmer who was looking to throw some paint on his tractor and what I was wanting to do, he suggested this product line that they have. It is called, let me come over here. It is called Magic Diamond Hard. It is a tractor, truck, it's a truck, and automotive industrial acrylic enamel. The thing that I liked about this product is there's nothing needed to add to it except water. So it's a waterborne paint. The second thing that I liked about it, as we talked, was its flash time is about 8 to 12 minutes. So it's dry to the touch. Its full dry is 1 to 2 hours, but its flash time is 8 to 12 minutes, which is perfect for a building like this. Now here's the challenge. Something that flashes that quick means that I have to be really on my game as a painter so you don't end up with like dry spray in overlaps. Like when I'm doing the roof, if I was doing the roof on this side and then had to run around to the other side and do that, there's the potential for a stripe down the middle of that roof. So we got stuff that we've got to definitely be considering, but I've got a plan for that, and we'll get into that on that paint series. I've talked to Just Mopar Joe. He's a painter as well, and I've talked with him about it, and he's got a different product line that he's doing, and I'm pretty sure he's got some stuff coming up on his channel with that. And so we're kind of just like kicking the tires back and forth. If you haven't checked him out, go do that. Just Mopar Joe here on YouTube. That's the name of his channel. we were texting back and forth about different paint and different products and so forth. And he's got one that he's been using on some stuff that's considerably cheaper. He's really interested to see, how this works out. Obviously, you wouldn't put this on a show car. This is not that kind of a product. At least I don't think it is. But for an old daily driver, I've got another pickup of my own. It's actually Becky's that I need to do some paint work on. And I'm looking at it for other projects as well that don't need to be show quality, but I want something that's a solid color. So this is Magic Tractor, Truck, and Automotive Industrial Acrylic Enamel. And the thing about an industrial paint, if you know anything about them at all, they're really, really hard. So that's pretty intriguing. I'm excited about that product. The challenge with this product was I couldn't buy it through my local Tractor Supply. The closest place to get it was down in Ohio. This actually came from North Carolina. That's where they had it in stock. But I got it from a company called Agri Supply. I've actually purchased stuff from this company before. We purchased some stuff for around the homestead here that if you've seen our Place channel, eventually you'll see some of that stuff. If you're looking for that channel, it's Our Place Homestead is the name of that channel. It's 4 or 5 episodes over there. It's not about the automotive stuff. It's about different stuff that we do here on our homestead. It's a channel that Becky and I are having fun with. But anyway, we've purchased from this company before. When I called them, there we were in the computer, and they were really great to work with. I'm not endorsed by them. Okay, again, I'm not endorsed by this company, but I know that both of the people at Agri Supply and my paint rep at Magic are definitely excited to see how this works. They're going to be watching the series on this build to see how this stuff works on this. And of course, I'm selfishly hoping that develops into a more formal relationship at some point. And the thing that you all have been waiting for is, would I pay for this? This stuff was $75 a gallon. Does not require any additives unless you have to pay for your water. It's just water mix. Covers 300 to 400 square feet per gallon of primed, smooth non-porous surfaces. Reduce it 5 to 10% with clean water by volume as needed. So if you put in 10 ounces, you're going to want to put in 1 ounce of water. Pretty simple, right? Of course, as a painter, you're going to adjust that. As you know, I've got one thing I got to call them and find out what size orifice I need to use in my paint gun for this, but it doesn't feel like it isn't. These 2 gallons aren't as heavy as that primer. So cost, here we go, $75 per gallon, $150 plus the shipping was $35. So we had $185 in 2 gallons of paint. That should be way more than enough to paint this truck. We're going to do the inside the cab. That's been decided. We're not doing the engine compartment. We're going to do the box. It remains to be seen.
Kind of like a funeral home, remains to be seen.
Whether or not we're going to paint the inside of the box or not. We're going to do something with it, but the owner may do that. I don't know. So hopefully these 2 gallons will be enough. A gallon should do it, but I got 2 just to be safe. Almost forgot I had these in my pocket. One more thing my son Joe sent me. We've been trying to find these for a while. Searched online without avail.
Not avail.
No luck is what I'm trying to say. We needed a set of shock washers for the 69 Charger, and I called Brewers Performance and said, hey, do you know anybody that makes these? I should have 6 sets of these around here. Do you think I can find any? Nope. So I called Brewers Performance and they said, hey, call RT Specialties. They'll have what you need. They probably do. They used to make them. So I called over there. I can't remember the owner's name right now, but I ended up speaking with him, and we got a set of inner and outer lower shock washers for the 69 Charger. So now we can get the shocks put on. I just need to get a set of upper bolts, which I can get anywhere locally, and get those on there. So this came from RT Specialties, and if you're looking for those specialty fasteners for a Mopar product, that's a place to look. I don't think there's anything else around the shop right now other than I've gotten some more seam sealer and basic shop products that you don't need to really know about. I know you guys have been asking about the brands of the products I use. I've shared that before, but I'll share it again. Most of the stuff that I use is by Evercoat. I use Evercoat Bondo. I use Evercoat Tiger Hair. I use Evercoat Spot Putty, polyester glaze. I use a lot of Evercoat sprayable stuff as well. Of course, the polyester is sprayable. Normally I use for my finish coats on a normal, like what I'm going to use on the Challenger, it'll either be DuPont or Nason, which is made by DuPont. So that's pretty much what I use because that's what's available here through my local paint jobber, my paint supplier. But I'm trying some different stuff here. I'm excited about it. I've sprayed most brands of stuff. I've used most brands of products, so it's just a matter of I really like the DuPont stuff because you can about put it on with a fire hose and it doesn't run. I've sprayed a lot of Sherman-Williams, I've sprayed a lot of Acme, I've sprayed PPG, and I happen to like that DuPont, the way it goes on, much better because I don't have to be as fussy. I can spray any of it, it doesn't much matter, but that's the way it is. Drop your questions down there in the comments if you will, and I appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed this, something a little different for our Talk About It Tuesday. I really appreciate it. We're over on the Face thing. Instagram loves us, gives us cookies / My Car Shop. And for those that haven't picked it up, we called this My Car Shop. So the story behind that, for those that haven't heard it, we got tons of new subscribers. Way back when we were in college, Becky and I were looking at opening a hot rod shop up in Marquette, Michigan. At the time, I was working at a place, and you've seen it if you've been around the channel. I was working at a place called Street Scene, and it was a hot rod shop. That's where I learned a lot of stuff about building cars. And I was the parts manager there, and I did all the engine building and stuff like that. And we had a body paint guy. But at the time I was looking to do something different, and I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit, and we were looking at opening our own rod shop, and we were brainstorming names, and Becky said, why don't you call it My Car's Shop? I said, My Car's Shop? I didn't get it. And she said, Mike R's Shop. My Car's Shop. My Car's Shop. Oh, I get it. Mike R. My last name begins with R, right? So Mike R's Shop. So that's where the name of the channel comes from, because it's a tribute to all those days way back in the 80s when we were actually going to open a hot rod shop in northern Michigan. That'll do it. We'll catch you on the next one. You didn't think I forgot, did you? Rock!